Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command World War II World at War with our Axis playthrough. It is time to declare war on the Soviet Union, what I imagine will be the single hardest part of my plan to win this campaign. Okay, Germany selected, USSR selected. They're 53% mobilized, so we're still catching them early enough on. They haven't really had a lot of chance to build up. They just got to 51% this last turn, and that was like a pretty big boost up. So, declare war. Ooh, it's loading. Loading. Some events are happening. It's because it's going to have to spawn in everything now. Like, they get a bunch of free troops. There we go. I declared war on this map before. I'm pretty sure it was not nearly that laggy, but yep. We have declared war. Communists increase their influence in Chile. Really? Finland enters the war against... Oh, I completely keep forgetting about Finland. Axis attack causes shockwaves in the USSR. Hell yeah, and their units have popped out. Completely not ready for what's to come. And here's the Finns. Oh, I'm gonna need to get these Finns upgraded. They started with almost nothing. An HQ, 2 corps, an army, and some fighters. That's hardly enough to do anything with. What do they have? They can get 2 more corps, a garrison, and that's it. This is like the rest of what they get. That's not a lot to do anything with, really. Honestly, Turkey was more impressive. But it's enough to at least be a pain in their ass. Still tempted to maybe get Sweden to join me so I can just kind of use the rail system here to link this all together. But honestly, I think with the way I've handled this and the countries that I have gone for, Yugoslavia and Turkey, that taking Russia as well as going in the Middle East and into Egypt from 2 sides will work out pretty well. And look at this! There's nothing down here that I can see. Oh, you know what I noticed? I never moved the 3rd Army directly up to the front. I just kind of left it there and forgot about it. Yeah, that makes sense. That's fine though. The first thing I would like to do here, because ideally I destroy all this crap that they just got spawned in for free. Give them a huge national morale hit, because right now they're still at 100%. It sounds like they'll be at less, but we want to make this plummet as far as possible so that they start getting debuffs to combat all around. And yeah, the rest of the troops they have won't be too crazy compared to what we're looking at here. It's pretty light down here on this front as well. Don't think they expect this to be fully prepared. A defensive air cover will allow me to bomb more freely without even needing my fighter coverage. So that would definitely be handy, especially to eliminate this HQ right here, for example. Otherwise, definitely achieving whatever kind of encirclement of these border forces, if not destroying them, would be fantastic. So let's go with prepared attacks first. I'm going to take this corps and we're going to attack these Western fighters. Dealt 5 damage, we took none. That's not going to be enough, however. I'm going to clear this corps out. Bring it over here, spot what's over there. Alright, so we can't get any further, but someone else can. We're just basically scouting to see if we can, well, how far we can get. This army is very limited on where it can go based on its location, but an army is an army. So I'm going to move that right up here, next to this enemy corps, get it as far as it can get. I'll take the next corps in the back here, and I'll move that up to, well, I'll keep it along the road, let's say here, the road and rail. Finish off the Western fighters. There you go. 237 national morale bonus. That's a bonus for us. A debuff for them. We're already at 112%. You can already see them starting to take some little hits there. Should get better and better the more land that they lose. We've now opened up a path to their HQ that they have sitting here. Next, and this one's going to be a little harder to wipe out, but we're going to take this Hungarian army, march it forward, attack, dealt 5 damage. I was hoping to deal 6, but you know what? I'll take that much. And then he's just kind of out of reach. I could try to gun him down with some fighters. He shouldn't have any escorts unless they have further fighters in the rear. I don't know. Let's test it out with the 3rd fighters here. Yep, no escorts. We've shattered the enemy, destroyed it completely. Unfortunately, took 1 damage in return. However, that was the only way we were going to kill that. Nothing else could have moved up far enough. Next, we have to figure out about this HQ. Now, I'm not sure if I want to leave this tank here and use it as like just an easy, guaranteed way to kill this mechanized unit, or if I want to move it up and around so it can pull off 2 blitz attacks and then probably focus that on the HQ. I think I'll play with assuming that the tank is going to stay where it is for now and take advantage of its prepared attack. We'll take this corps, it's really the only one that can get to the HQ right now, to go kind of scout it out, get in the best possible position to attack, and then maybe for this, depending on the strength, we can exploit our air coverage. Okay, already 6 guaranteed damage. Okay, so we can go after some bombing then. That we can. Let's start with the tactical bombers here. Let's go ahead and bomb this enemy HQ. 2 damage dealt. Naturally, that will not be enough. We're going to need more. Let's use the Africa tactical bombers. We have it down to 5 strength. We've destroyed half of its strength with 2 tactical bombings. That's half of my tactical bombers. Now, if I go ahead with the core, we have destroyed the enemy HQ, 342 national morale bonus. And so now they have no defensive air cover. They have no more HQ bonuses. They have a bomber, but we can wipe that out theoretically pretty easily. Let's send up this German corps, yes, right here, next to this enemy bomber, and attack. 4 damage dealt, none taken. Okay, it's gonna need 1 more hit to really kill it. For that purpose, I'm gonna take the 5th corps, move that up, and attack. Shatter the enemy bomber. We've wiped out the entire enemy air force on the border here. All kills, no casualties. However, of course, these units are kind of like free for them, so I'm not sure how much that really counts. Well, at least it counts towards national morale, right? Up in the north, getting past this corps is going to be the most important task facing my units up here. So, we're going to take the tactical bombers remaining up here and use it to try to break these entrenchments, because this unit was already here, already chilling defensively. A lot of things up here were. So, this is where this tactical bomber will assist. Well, it's gone to gray, so its readiness and morale has reduced. Since the 3rd Army doesn't have much other choice, I'm going to go ahead and just attack with that right now. Across the river. 2 damage dealt, none received. Okay. In that case, I will move up the 1st Army next to assist the 3rd Army. And attack this enemy corps. Dealt 4 damage, took 1. Okay, we dealt 1 more than we were supposed to. We took 1 more than we were supposed to. I'll take this corps, move it up. Okay, they have a garrison here. They have tactical bombers here. Garrison or tac bombers. These are both very nice choices. I think I'm going to try to hit the tac bombers, though. Yeah, they're at 7. These were freshly spawned. We dealt 3 damage. And now these guys are like a little more out in the open. The units that have just spawned in have done so with no supply, very little readiness and morale, no entrenchment. So they're pretty easy to kill. So for the rest of my bombing, what I'm looking at doing is trying to kill these units that have started with some entrenchment. And so for this final tactical bomber, I'm looking at either this corps or this cavalry, because we kind of need to break through in both directions. This corps is very easily encircled, and we have less units down here in this southern region. I figured the Hungarians might be able to focus on this cavalry corps and opening up this region, while the Romanians kind of head in this direction. That's what I'm thinking, and then eventually the both of them just reunite and head through southern Ukraine, maybe meeting up with the Yugoslavians. The Yugoslavians, that's right. We're still gonna have to look at those after all. So, let's take a look at what else we can do for now with these tac bombers. I think I'll send them after, actually these garrisons were here too, and they're very entrenched. Might be able to get past here more easily as well. Okay. Change of plans then. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. We dealt 1 damage. We weren't supposed to do anything. I just wanted to take down its readiness and morale and stuff, and to make it easier for this corps to kill this. Now, hopefully it can? Okay, cool. Because it was not very likely... Oh, took damage, fucker. It was not very likely to be able to do that until what I just did. So we're naturally going to go just step on that fucking city. That is our fortress now. They cannot have it. Moving along from there, I'm going to take the Slovakian corps, move it up, because I want to close this gap right here. I don't want this to be open, even if the corps can't do a whole lot of damage. I don't want a mechanized infantry potentially living and then coming down into Hungary or anything, or Romania, and causing me any problems. So that is now taken care of. This army doesn't have much to do with its prepared attack other than this. And there's not any other way to really give it assistance without, like, doing a strafing run, which I don't want to do. I do kind of wish I had gone after the plane that fled with this fighter instead of this one, but you know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it. So let's take this army and utilize that prepared attack. 5 damage dealt, 1 taken. Ah, we're going from like amazing rolls to not getting the best of rolls. Oh my. Oh no, this was already supposed to be a 1 hit, I think. Well, let's go ahead and attack. Ah! Oh! The disappointment. You were supposed to 1 hit it and it got away. Well, that's fine. By the way, if I sound weird in this episode, I'm sick with the flu for literally the 2nd time in this series recording, so that is why. Let's just finish off this rifle corps with these tanks. 2 damage dealt. They're dead. National morale bonus. We can still move these things up, and we will. Just kind of calculating how this all goes first. This corps, or this one, actually, would be pretty well suited for heading down here and finishing off this mechanized unit. Looking at our options, I'm going to go ahead and send this one. This one's kind of like an extra that's just out there anyway. Try to finish off this mechanized unit. There you go. He's dead. I don't think this one down here is really going to die just yet. It'll get encircled, sure. Will it die? Probably not. I'm going to take the 5th Corps here. I'm going to move it up. So it's also around here, which technically provides combat bonuses. I'll move this army forward, because having an army on the front line is pretty important. I'm going to take this corps, just going to move it down right here, so it's still like right next to a road, but not on this town, because the town is going to see the Von Kukler HQ moving up into its place. Supply is still going to be pretty well off, so we're going to take this Panzer tank, and we're going to just move that forward. These tanks need to get their advanced tank upgrade still, but I figure I'll just handle that whenever they have to recover from the fighting. Looking at the Hungarians, I'm going to move the 1st army forward. Okay, looks good to me. We have an army over here. Then I'll take the 1st Corps. I'm going to move it up here, a little more in harm's way. We're going to just press the offensive for right now, especially with these kinds of odds. We're going to take the 1st army first and try to deal some damage. 4 damage dealt, 1 taken, exactly as advertised. Now the Corps' turn. 4 damage dealt down to 2 HP. And that is now moved away from the town, actually. The town's open, I just can't step on it because everyone else here has, like, moved too much. I'm gonna move this HQ to this border, probably? For now. Just so it's right next to the units that it's supporting, make sure nothing accidentally gets out of range. Spread supply as easily as possible. He's just following them around. The Hungarians, yeah, they can get some more units. We'll see if I end up doing that. I'm going to have a lot of points available to do stuff like that. I'm going to take the 10th Army and move it up against this enemy corps. And this one was already here, so it's not as vulnerable as some other things would be. I know we have some prepared attacks waiting over here. I'll go ahead and use them. The 4th Army against this rifle corps. 5 damage. We're supposed to deal more than that, but I'll take what we can get. This corps has prepared attack. Let's go use that. Shattered. Nice. National morale bonus. Okay. The death of this unit has now made it apparently very likely that this tank can one-shot this mechanized, so I'll try it. Alright, cool, yeah. That's a nice one-shot. I'll take that. And no damage taken on my side. Okay. That means the 4th Army can move up. Both of these can. 8th Army as well. 8th Army hasn't had an attack yet, so I'm just going to move it up onto the road. And I'll move this tank up as well, because it also has another attack it can use. The 8th Army will attack first. 2 damage dealt. None taken. We'll take the tanks here and attack again. 4 damage dealt. None taken. Okay, fairly nice. This corps has a prepared attack. I'm going to first move this tank over here. We're going to move this army at Modlin up. We'll take an HQ and probably move it into Modlin. Well, we can. Is it necessary? No, but we can. Probably Rommel's going to head up the center here. So heading to Modlin doesn't necessarily help. Might help him keep up a little bit with some of these movements. Maybe. Well, I can't really tell yet. Ideally, we're going to take Brest-Litovsk, so let's get to work on that. Starting with this corps that has prepared attack, we dealt 5 damage Took a damage, unfortunately. That's alright. Could have been worse. We're going to move this core up. And then I've sent the second core up and around near the Pripyat marshes to go ahead and finish off the Brest-Litovsk garrison, which it has successfully done. And then, oh, okay. I can step on this with this unit. Move this core up here. The idea being we don't want this to be able to like sneak down and around. And we'd like, ideally, to cut this off as much as possible. And in fact, if our supply already extends all the way out here, I might as well just do this and fully connect our supply. Completely surround these fuckers. Let's go ahead and attack the one that's actually like, I don't know, stronger. But dying. 2 damage dealt, none taken. Alright, it's getting fucked up. Our supply, our ownership surrounds theirs. They'd have to try to break out. Or something else would have to try to break in to really have them escape this. Not to mention, I can send this core over here and completely finalize encircling them. It's just that if I do that, this front is actually going to be a little weaker. I think the ownership spread over here, honestly, is good enough. Worst case scenario, this core moves off of Wilno, breaking its entrenchments, right? Comes down to here to attack this, and then one of these moves up here, and they connect a supply line. They won't have the supply line at the start of the turn, and that's really the most important thing right now. So these are both forests, huh? Looks like it. So I'm not sure if I should move up against the river here for additional defense. I probably should. That sounds smart. Now that I said that out loud, that sounds definitely like the smarter option. I'm still trying to figure out how to do max damage over here. I want to finish this off, which the tank could easily do. But then the tank can't reach this tactical bomber, and it's going to retreat, maybe get away, and then I won't be able to kill it. I want to kill this bomber somehow. Well, let's see. We'll move the tanks forward, just standardly for now. We'll finish off this enemy. Okay, that town is now open. So we can still just move again anyway. It's just, this is going to be a little riskier. Try to finish off these tac bombers. Okay, we finished them off. Enemy core, dead. This, dead. Is there anything at Riga? I don't see anything at Riga, but I also don't think I can actually properly see Riga yet. I think the forest, terrain, and the river are in my way. What I need to do now is I need to form some sort of cohesive line over here, ideally. So, for that purpose, let's see. An army would do better in a town than a tank. The tank can get all over the place. I'll send the tank around over here to try to cover the path that this enemy is surviving on. So that allows me to then, let's see, take this core actually, because it's not going to get across this river, this core, and then get behind us. That's just not going to happen. So with this, blocking off this region, this army is now safe. Memel is open. I don't think this garrison will really step on it. Not too worried about it. I might move the HQ forward now. Might try to get some upgrades or something. I don't know. Moving it forward wouldn't be too risky, because again, what's going to hurt it? A garrison? I mean, if they had like one of those rail trains, which I know they get an armored train. Don't know if they got it yet. I forgot about that. I don't care to min-max memorize that stuff. It could sail right up here and attack that motherfucker for sure. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. As you can tell, I'm nowhere near done yet. I have many units I haven't touched, and we're still only on Germany. So let's take the 2nd Romanian army, get it around Odessa. Take the 1st Romanian army, same thing. Just start surrounding Odessa. We don't have the best odds against Odessa. At least not without prepared attacks. This HQ is safe where it is, and it's in range of everything. As, I believe, are these fighters as well. This core would be better off over here completely cutting off Odessa, but it has a port anyway. For now, I'm just going to move it up here to completely encircle Odessa for combat bonuses and penalties for the enemies. I don't think I want to risk 1-to-1 odds against a core defending Odessa. It will probably become saddened by the developments around it anyway, and the dropping Soviet morale over time. That's what I'm thinking. For now, just moving up and taking this ground, I think, is going to be good enough. And I don't believe that this HQ is in any risk of being hurt. Even if it was, I could just move it right down here and then everything would be fine. And it kind of is fine, right? Yeah, because there's a bridge here but it's blocked by 2 zones of control, and nothing here has the capacity to actually get across the river any other way up to this HQ, so I believe it's safe. Coming over here would be suicide anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's go ahead and look at the Caucasus front. Right now, this front belongs to the Yugoslavians. The Turks joined right before we started the invasion. I didn't bother getting them ready. I spent money focusing on fortifying and upgrading what we already have. I'm pretty content with the idea of spending nothing else on diplomacy, because we need these points to strengthen the nations we already have. We don't need any more nations. We don't need any more territory. This is good. I'm happy with it. Let's take this core, the Bitaliska core, and move this over here to Bataru. Batumi. It's called Batumi. We went ahead and we took that pretty much no problem. Nothing's at Poti. I'm curious if anything's at Tbilisi. I believe that's the capital of the Georgia later on. Let's take the Bosanska core. This one, a lot of these are actually blocked by this mountain. I didn't realize how terrifying this mountain was over here. Let's move that forward here. Okay, we can't quite see anything else just yet. We have 1 army. And only 1 army. I know Iran's going to end up joining eventually. Well, you know, actually, I don't know that. I don't know the conditions for that. On the 12th of August, 1941, if the UK and USSR are both allied and not surrendered, Persia is neutral, and both Kuwait, right here, and Baku are in allied hands. It's April. Currently, it looks like we're going to reach over here, no problem. We might actually just prevent the invasion of Persia. I looked it up, and apparently Iraq joins the Axis? I don't remember that from my allied playthrough. I looked it up historically, and they supposedly join in May. Something like that. Before Iran is ever invaded. So, that's next turn? Roughly? Maybe the turn after that. My idea is that Turkey would operate kind of in the Middle East, while the Yugoslavs are actually the ones taking care of this front, so that I can have more time to actually upgrade and mobilize the Turks. So I might want to make getting them ready a bit of a top priority here, especially the ones that are already almost ready, because we might end up needing them in Iraq sooner rather than later. And getting into Iraq is not going to be easy, because the rail line goes through Syria. Shrug. I don't know. What I do know is it's very likely I won't have to worry about Iran if I can just make it to Baku. So let's take the Bosanska core, move them up some more. I'm trying to see what's over here. Nothing. There's nothing over there. Wow. All right. Army, go. Army strong. Look at that army. Amazing. We're just gonna spill over in here. I'm actually so happy now. I'm especially happy with my strategy that I gave the Yugoslavs all this mobility, because the Soviets have nothing here. They're gonna have to operate units, if they have any in reserve, over here. Units that are gonna have to come from, well, I'm sure some will come from over here, but the thing is, all these units would have gone to this front, and now they're gonna have to come here. And I think that's exactly what I wanted. The Dravska Corps will move up and take Poti. Got that port. Now that's cut off from the rail line. The rail line goes up here, goes around here. Okay, so we don't have many options. We'll do what we can. Send this core over here. Send this one over here. It's about as good as we can do for now. First turn with them. We get this HQ moving up. Ooh, should I even like leave it there or there? I'm not sure. It's all in range. I think it boosts supply from a hex. I would definitely like to see it boost as much as possible, so that the spillover effect is like more noticeable. It's also a good thing that we have mobility on this HQ, because next turn we should be able to just get it up here to Tbilisi as we move this army and all these other corps into different locations. Thankfully, I was able to get my paratroopers in position, ready, and I'm going to use them as paratroopers. So the first paratroops will go ahead and land here in Tarnopol. They fly over. They land. No damage taken from the fall. Nice. And we can go ahead and attack this cavalry corps, finishing it off, finishing the work that the Hungarians have done. Hungarians are shoring up this front. They're going to shift next. They're going to shift inwards towards Ukraine and along, maybe around this river altogether, while the Romanians kind of come past the bridges. The 7th paratroops, on the other hand, are going to fly and actually close this up for me. Land, no damage taken. And we finished off the first corps. Okay. Move this army up to take that town. Okay, beautiful. Love that. Rommel's too far away for supply to matter, and he has all his upgrades. I'm going to move him up somewhere where he'll actually advance. Maybe around here or here, where it's still safe, but he can extend what he's given a little bit better up to the front. This is all roads, so movement penalties aren't particularly present. Oh, Allenstein's here. That's right. Well, in that case, let's maybe move these planes up a little bit. Now that we're looking at it, what's supply like? It's pretty decent. I've moved these fighters up 1. I'm going to move this TAC bomber up 1, just kind of northeast. Rommel will take their place at Allenstein for now. And I guess, as much as I kind of don't want to, I'll take the Slovakian Corps here, and I'll attack this mechanized, because it's never going to be more vulnerable than this. So let's go ahead and attack it. 1 damage dealt, none taken, and it actually ran away. Okay, that went better than I hoped. Let's move this corps up then. I'm happy with that. Nice. So we've wiped out a whole bunch of their units. In fact, we might be able to get some stats here if you look at the reports. Losses. Detail Soviets. So on this first turn, we've already wiped out a Soviet HQ, 2 garrisons, 4 corps, 2 mechanized. We've dealt damage beyond that. A cavalry corps, 2 fighter units, 2 different bombers, and the game is kind enough to show me on a graph how much damage I've done. So, look at this. Over the whole game, up to this point, they have collected from MPPs 2,209. On units, they have spent 1,107. There's research as well, and diplomacy. They spent 935 on research, quite a bit actually. And they lost more than all the income that they've gotten the whole game in this one turn. So I think we did pretty well there. They certainly didn't do nearly as well against me, because I decided when the war started on my end. So I am very happy with that. National morale not dipping too much yet. It's a big number. The unit losses only do so much. I'm sure actually making progress, taking national morale objectives, will have a bit of a bigger effect. Something we'll have to worry about soon as well is convoys. Yep, it's active. It's active. The UK to the USSR convoy has activated. That means UK MPPs, which they're still not getting any from America yet. However, now that we've declared war, it's possible that that happens. They're 38% mobilized. I don't remember when that convoy route opens. I'm pretty sure this convoy route is based on American mobilization. I just don't remember what that value is. I think I found out what it was in my Allied playthrough, but I don't remember it right now. Looking at the Finland front, this is actually pretty important because this is an active front in the war. It's active right now, in fact, and I need to be ready for it. So, this, I think I'll avoid mobility. We don't have enough points to really go for that. AA, infantry weapons, sure. That army's upgraded. Second Corps, same deal. These garrisons, they're in, important locations for blocking off any potential Soviet advance. However, the Soviets reaching these points is also not very easy. And I believe the Soviets only usually start with garrisons up here, so I'm not entirely sure how much I want to upgrade stuff like that. I'll take the Helsinki Corps and I'm going to move it over to Hanko. Take that port for myself so the Soviets can't use it because they annexed it in the Winter War or whatever. They don't have any partisans for it, so that's fine. I can't move the Mannerheim HQ up very far yet because it spawned with like 1 action point. So I'm just going to move it as far as it can get and say that's good for now. We need supply to spread. This fighter, for example, can't really heal very much at the time being because it has 5 supply. It's about to have even less. I think I'll get it up to 8, as far as it can get right now. I'll move it up next turn. Then I'll get it some more reinforcements and upgrades. This is going to be like a several turn process for this fighter group, but It's something. Due to the sensitive nature of where these garrisons are placed, I will give them infantry weapons level 1, but that's it. 13 MPPs per garrison. That's fine by me. It's just an insurance policy, basically, in case they march even one corps towards these places, to ensure that these garrisons can probably hold them off indefinitely. I'm gonna take the 10th Army, we're gonna attack this corps. I forgot to attack with the 10th Army, 3 damage dealt, and I'm taking and enough XP to start getting elite reinforcements on the 10th Army. Ooh. And that appears to be it for all of that. That is the beginning of our invasion on the Soviet Union, and that is this whole fucking episode. We'll take care of the rest of this on the next episode. So for now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.